Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Nurul Hidayah Awang Asim from Faculty of Psychology and Education, Master in Education TESOL program. Today I am going to present my paper entitled Systematic Literature Review Using English Movies to Develop ESL Learner Speaking Confidence. The first part of the review is the introduction. In the modern days, language learners can now use media such as movies transmitted for leisure as learning content to better grasp and perform the anticipated competencies of oral discourse. Learning a language through watching movies that are broadcasted in or connected to a certain language can help you become skilled in all parts of the language, including speaking. Speaking English is more than just being able to develop grammatically acceptable words. Presenting, persuading, and bargaining skills are some of the most important interpersonal skills that are all required for successful communication to happen. And all of these qualities, they can reflect the candidate's level of confidence while they are communicating in English. However, according to Ma'ruf and his peers in 2015, in their study, there has lately been an increase in concern over Malaysian ESL students' level of English language competency. They are showing an immense lack of ability to portray good verbal communications, which just shows that they are far from confident about their own speaking abilities. Speaking in front of a group requires bravery, personal drive, and sensory input such as a nice conversational setting and an attractive topic. Some ESL students may find certain peers who are overbearing in their speech as intimidating. They are frightened to say anything incorrect or unintelligible. This, among other reasons, can be the major contributor to the lack of confidence ESL learners are displaying when it comes to speaking. Now that we have uncovered the root of this issue, we will look at the main objective of this review, which is to investigate how English movies might help ESL students in higher education who struggle with speaking confidence. In this review, we will delve deeper into research from the databases accessible to find relevant publications that support English movies as an instructional tool for ESL learners to gain speaking confidence. Referring to our objective, there are two research questions that arise in this topic. The first one is, can English movies improve ESL learners' speaking confidence? And the second one, what are the suggested ways to implement English movies in acquiring speaking confidence for ESL learners? The second part of this review is the methodology. In order to address the research questions, it is critical to identify key terms and phrases in the systematic literature review. In the databases, the important phrases are English movies and speaking and English movies and confidence. In order to find relevant articles, these key phrases were searched using the UMS library's access to subscribed databases. This review includes qualitative and quantitative studies, and it is considered valid and eligible since it is unbiased of the author's own judgments and prejudices. The four databases that was used to find relevant research publications are ProQuest, Science Direct, Scopus, and JSTOR. In order to get a list of relevant studies, the search terms employed in this database were, as mentioned, the English movies and confidence and English movies and speaking. The database searches are from its inception to the year 2021, and they feature journal articles, review papers, and research articles. As you can see, these tables represent the process of collecting relevant articles and filtering them through a few criteria, such as the inclusion and exclusion criteria. These criteria include language, access type, publication year, document type, and field. By the end of the search, we were left with 8 relevant articles that we are going to analyze in this review. As a result, we are left with 8 relevant articles, and these are the list of the articles available. The next part of this review is the discussion. In this section, we will look at the responses to the research questions and objectives through analyzing each relevant article left. The discussion primarily focuses on the aspects of English movies that can potentially help ESL learners improve their speaking confidence and the variables of English movies that have a significant impact on their speaking confidence. After reviewing the relevant published journals, we can conclude that the difficulties encountered by the ESL students are caused by a variety of factors, which will be discussed in this discussion. We will also look at characteristics in English movies that might assist language learners improve their speaking abilities and confidence. In addition to that, we will evaluate the data to address the second study question, which recommends methods or approaches that ESL learners may use to gain speaking confidence through English movies. Now, let's discuss these relevant articles. The first one, according to Bolivar Cruz and his peers in 2018, both men and women experience some amount of fear and anxiety when they are required to orally communicate, which adds to their lack of confidence in speaking assessments. The findings also suggest that in order to improve learners' ability to analyze themselves in public speaking, more assessment activities in the classroom that allow students to investigate examples of oral presentations, such as watching films or movies, should be included in one or more sessions. The second study was done by Bunnun 2019. This study's findings show how learners may be motivated and take responsibility for their own learning. Learning using instructional resources, such as watching English movies or listening to English stories on YouTube, is an example of an out-of-class activity that autonomous learners can engage in. The research also underlined that these activities can assist learners to increase their language skills, which can aid in the development of their English proficiency as well. However, if the instructor or teacher is teaching students from various majors, such as science-oriented students or humanities students, he or she is accountable for selecting appropriate content in the material that is going to be used. The third article is by Hirsi in 2016. And once again, Hirsi 2016 discovered that learning pronunciation skills is one of the core speaking talents that would assist students to be more confident in speaking. According to the findings, the majority of language learners agree that watching English films may help them improve their pronunciation and give them the confidence to communicate better when searching for employment. It was also mentioned that mastering pronunciation allows speakers to have a positive appraisal and opinion of their own speaking abilities. In essence, when speakers have a positive self-evaluation and personal impressions of themselves, they are expected to perform and excel in duties that entail speaking and connecting with others, particularly a potential employer. The next article by Amawa and Yebowa in 2021 emphasized the psychological challenges that Chinese EFL learners encountered. These difficulties were mostly speaking anxiety, shyness, and fear of making mistakes, which were rated the most difficult component of public speaking. EFL learners exhibit a lack of speaking confidence and self-efficacy, prompting researchers to do a study to identify a tool or strategy that can become a dominant integrative motivation to improve their speaking abilities and confidence. According to the findings, watching English language movies is an effective instrumental motivation for EFL learners to overcome their psychological barriers to speaking. Furthermore, English native movies are advantageous and exemplary in order to create a desirable environment that will ensure they can communicate in English fluently. The intervention in the study by Young 2017 was DA or Interactive Assessment, which was implemented in an experimental classroom. The findings indicated that DA was able to boost participants' interests, motivation, and speaking confidence in the classroom by using English movies and TV shows as a kind of interactive assessment for the learners to practice their English pronunciation. When the English materials were utilized, the majority of them agreed in the questionnaire about their desire to enhance English pronunciation and their enthusiasm for standard English pronunciation. Most of the participants also say that they prefer to work on their English pronunciation by watching English movies and TV shows in English. Participants also stated that once they had English resources to study from, they become less impacted by other people's views of their pronunciation because it was the most authentic source of learning. The exercise appears to have helped the students overcome their fear of public speaking and become more confident. The next article is a study conducted in China by Steincross, Tindaro, and Bott in 2016. This study emphasized the importance of learning English through television and movies. Learners in the research were exposed to English TV shows produced in English-speaking countries as well as English movies, English audio materials, and English materials available on electronic devices. Participants were instructed to view English media at home, including any English television programs produced in China. The findings show that the total amount of classroom input, as well as home English media, such as cartoons and movies, were able to increase the learner's English-speaking ability. The findings also revealed that English media had the greatest coefficient in terms of productive vocabulary competency. As a result, exposing young learners to English media proved to help them improve their limited communication abilities. The next article is by Al-Biladi, Abdin, and Lincoln in 2018. According to the study's findings, the majority of young learners who participate in the experiment feel that learning English through watching movies is a particularly beneficial activity since it gives a real-life example of the language used by native English speakers. This is known as learning through imitating a genuine source of language. The English language, as shown in films, not only allowed participants to enhance their language skills, but it also allowed them to feel comfortable enough to talk in the foreign language at a young age. It was also discovered that these young learners believe English movies, in particular, may assist them to progress in the 4 key language abilities. The survey results also demonstrated that English movies can assist these individuals to improve their ability to speak and listen to English discussions in their daily lives. The last article that we are going to analyze is by Alfian in 2021. The analysis of the interviews in this study indicated that the participant favors learning English through television as one of the major strategies out of 59 possible techniques to learn English. They also claim that watching movies on YouTube or English television shows help them improve their English skills. This discovery of a strategy is significant because watching TV or movies not only improve the participants' general knowledge of English in areas such as vocabulary, speaking, and pronunciation, but it also provides entertainment by providing an interesting way of learning about the culture of English-speaking countries. From those 8 relevant articles that are discussed in the discussion session, the findings in the collected articles support English movies as a successful tool for developing ESL learners' speaking confidence. The majority of the research reveals that language learners frequently deal with speaking anxiety and fear of public speaking, whether as a result of others' judgment or their own limited speaking ability. The articles gathered also reflect language learners of all ages, ranging from early kindergarten up to university students. Thus, these article findings demonstrate that English media or English movie is one of the elements that can significantly impact learners of all ages' motivation to enhance their speaking skills and general confidence in communicating in English language. That is all for now. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you all can learn something from my presentation.